Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. Yay, we did it. Welcome back. We've learned a lot about our friends, the Aladdin and Jasmine. I
actually like Jasmine as a name for her. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, she can be Jasmine. Sorry, my phone is turning.
He can't be Aladdin, but
yeah, but yeah. So we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about them through the ministrations of Shadi and the application of
liquid leverage.
Liquid leverage, yeah, exactly. At this point, he's starting to get a little bit like they're both a little intoxicated. But awesome. You can push that further if you want to do something with it.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So I think the move is to try and get her to leave him and hopefully get home safely. And I think Ryza is going to be the spearhead leading that.
Yes.
With us there to support in terms of getting him as drunk and or poisoned?
So what my support plan looks like is this. I start watering down her wine. Like not like noticeably, like just a little, but like so that she remains unaffected, so that he will be like, let's drink some more and have to like drink more. And I from under my counter produce this time we're out of the like medical drugging side of things. I just produce a bottle of spirit.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And just start like adding like a little shot to every glass he does.
What kind of spirits are you dosing him with?
Vodka?
Fair, cool, nice.
Yeah, white spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like tasteless.
Yeah.
I mean, in this Mediterranean sense, it would be grappa.
Yes, thank you.
Out of, grape skins.
Yep. Cool. All right.
It's just like the wine he's drinking, but fortified.
Yeah, and I think
it's just
that
really good wine.
At that point, I turn around from the counter, and with these 3 glasses or 3 new mugs in hand, and I sit down at the table, probably on the side with Jasmine.
Yes.
So I'm like looking at. We don't have a name for him, but the citizen.
Yeah, sorry, I'll get him a name because you would know his name by this point.
Yeah. And I set down the drinks, making sure that he gets the spiked one.
Is his name Gaius?
Yes, Gaius is great.
Yeah, and I set down the drinks and I was like, so, how is everyone's day going? We don't see too many citizens down here, although I have to say it's quite good for what it is.
This conversation kicks off and he's like well, it's a bit of a seedy place, but it's very, very quaint. And he keeps using the words quaint and rustic, almost like he doesn't quite understand what they mean. But yeah,
he's heard other people call things quaint and rustic.
Yeah,
and so he thinks it's actually a good thing.
Over again. And he immediately has noticed you sitting on her, sitting next to her, and slightly too close for comfort. And he's like, what's your name, friend? I'm Gaius. I'm quite the adventurer amongst my friends. And this is Jasmine, who is my and yet he stumbles for a second. He's like, my very good friend, who is who has never been to this part of town, and I thought I'd show her around.
Quite. Well, I am Rise, Sergeant Rise. You see, I just came into town actually with what's the
Peacemakers?
Poulos.
Yeah, with
Commander Poulos.
Yeah, I just came into town with Commander Poulos, and it's been a long time since I've been in the city. It was just a boy then.
Yeah.
And I give a laugh.
Left unstated, and now I am a man.
Yeah, cool. So I feel like I wanna like roll to see how this conversation pans out. So yeah, it sounds like. So what is the intention here? The intention here is to kind of like bully him into making a fool of himself and drinking too much and making a fool of himself.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh yes, I'm a military man, and I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're trying to one-up him so that he feels like he has to like puff up, peacock up, and like challenge you to.
So I feel like I'm striking at his masculinity.
Yeah. Yep.
Destroy him!
That's what I'm feeling.
Yep. So I feel like this is all one action because you've got like a thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
That is like a specific outcome. So I'll get you all to roll together, and because there's a lot of like things at play here. So what
I feel like
what is the
I feel like
I just got to check I just got to check what's the limit of like how bad I can make things for you.
Yep. I feel like I'm also striking, but I'm striking at his like his being sober and being conscious. That's my action.
All right, so the highest number of successes I can currently require of you is 4, and I think that is easily filled by this situation, especially because Rice doesn't currently have.
If he just takes a look at my arm.
Yeah, but hopefully the also, uniform and the medals will distract him.
Yeah, right. Also, I'm not including in this action because it wasn't stated as that was the current goal.
Getting her to leave.
Getting the armband off him.
Right. It's getting her. We're just trying to get her to think he's an absolute tool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
he'll just drink his sorrows and pass out, and then we'll just take the arm.
I think then he'll swing a fist at Rise, honestly.
I mean, that's also possible.
But
we got options.
All bets are off. What I'm trying to figure out what the right action for it is. Soothing platitudes. I'm going to continue playing the part of the host. We continue trying to treat everybody as though they have a lot of respect, and making him feel as though he doesn't have like an out. Like this is totally normal for just like me as this nobody. I would never think to like not allow a citizen to sit. Just another citizen wants to sit down at another citizen's table. That's just how you citizens do, right? So make it so like if he was like, who is this person? Get them out of here. I'd be like, oh, your guest? Okay, here, I'll serve you a meal too, and like just make it seem really like there's no way out of this. Yeah,
it like on surface value that sounds like tending, but I think you're actually building like a social trap or prison, more than you're actually trying to tend the situation.
Sounds right to me as well. I don't think I'm great at build, but let's see, 4 to 6, 11, 14.
And then it sounds like Luke is probably also building. Carax is.
I would make the case I'm striking at his
at his sobriety. Yes.
Yeah, I'm striking at his sobriety and his self-control.
Yep, sounds good.
I'm trying to break those things with alcohol. What
I really love is the way that like it is the way that like choosing your action here like totally colors the way that the outcomes might like play out.
Yeah, I'm not building his drunkenness. I'm striking at his sobriety, which like has very different implications.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool.
I like it.
All right.
All right,
so
Fates.
You need 4 between the 3 of you.
Cool. I am rolling 2 fire dice and bending 1 self dice.
Cool. What I want to do is I just want to make sure everyone has like picked their dice that they're going to roll before anyone rolls them, because
that's
an important
solid.
element to this.
Right. So that we're not like oh, you.
I'm gonna do more.
So, so you've declared your dice. What besides Earth is good at building? Water?
Earth is best. I think water is not bad at it.
Fire's pretty good.
Is fire good at building? I thought fire was really bad at building.
No, I might be. No. I'm getting my math confused. I'm getting my math confused.
Earth is okay at striking. Fire is not great at building.
Yeah, that's the way around it goes. Air is also really bad at building. So the other two good ones are Self and Water.
All right.
For striking, it's Fire and Earth.
Fire is best. Earth is pretty decent.
Self is not the worst thing in the world if you
I'd run me Self.
if there's a backup.
Oh right, because self is D12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like also like from a strategic standpoint, I'm starting to feel like
and like
the time to bend dice is not when you're not when you're using your good dice. Like if you're striking with fire, you don't bend the fire die. You don't bend the D4s. You bend the ones that are suboptimal choices to increase the odds of them actually producing good outcomes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I've played this game before.
Well, I really do not have that many dice.
That's a really good point, Luke. Thanks for pointing that out. So I think I'm gonna.
I remember that if you are bending, I need you to like explain how you're bending in fiction. Because you can't the mental image should be like Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? Like,
yeah. Well, the nice thing is that Carrick's at least has like the sort of
the counter to shield
ability to be like, I'm doing some whoosh.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what's happening
safely here.
Carrick's has got the is cradling the bottle in their hands, and has it like is like whispering to it, and telling it like a story of their and this guy's like shared homeland that's all about like like a young man who can drink. It's very much like that bit in Norse mythology where Thor is challenged to drink from a drinking horn and drain it, and he's actually drinking the ocean and he still nearly manages to drain it.
Yeah.
Like it's some story about an impossible feat of drinking and a young man who could just drink anything. Yeah. And he's just like, they're just like whispering this story to the bottle, and their like hands are glowing and their eyes are glowing and the liquid is glowing a little bit, and they're like imbuing it with this sense of confidence. Yep, that's what that looks like from me.
Cool. Anya, have you picked your dice?
Yeah, I will be rolling 3 fire and bending 1 earth.
So fiery.
Cool. What does that earth look like?
I think at some point, as he like reaches for his drink, I'm going to earthbend to bump the table and knock the drink over to spill it on her.
Ah, that's cool. I like it.
So he's like reaching for it, and then it like knocks over onto her.
It helps too, because like in this establishment, like the cups are all 100% like just crude like clay mugs.
Right.
Yeah, they're not going to break, and they're definitely going to earth.
And they are themselves earth bendable.
Yeah, and I'm going to be rolling 1 earth and how much are you? I think I'm going to do 1 earth and 1 self. And I'm not bending either, because I am neither hidden behind the bar like Carrick's is, nor impersonating a citizen that can get away with bending. So I'm not going to bend those dice.
Cool. All right.
Ash, can I make the case that either one of that I have 2 armaments I think are potentially helpful here. One is my soup kitchen, which is like where I have gotten the alcohol. With which I'm playing this young fool.
Yeah.
And the second is the trust of my community, in that like this place has a reputation as a place where like people are not trying to buy the owner.
I don't think either of those are actually like. Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna. I don't think they're specific. I don't think they're specific enough to the situation.
Can I use Sergeant Rise?
Yes. Yes, definitely. Cool.
Because I do have that as an armament.
Yeah, you have the identity of Sergeant Rice.
Cool. All right.
I have this like really cheesy idea of how I could use an armament. I think I will.
Yeah.
Is that I like at one point I'm like, oh, Sergeant, your invitation to the upcoming gala, it fell out of your pocket when you sat down. Let me show again.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This invitation to this important event that, of course, you, as an important man, have been invited to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me give that back to you real quick. So I take the invitation.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just realized Jasmine's totally going to be at the gala.
Probably. She's important.
Yeah.
She's an important person. So yeah, I like totally lay it on thick that you're a person of importance because you have this invitation.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
So we're gonna roll.
That's the thing, right? Like physical ones are actually easier to know when you can trigger them.
Yeah. I do. The more we play, the more it's hard. It's hard to think of them sometimes, but the more I feel like physical objects really do make better armaments than like reputations or ephemeral things. They still fictionally they still make sense, but yeah, it's way easier to be like to bring it into the fiction in a concrete way if it's an object.
Yeah. Cool. All right,
let's do it.
Everyone's picked their things. Press some buttons. All right. So I'm going to use Shardy's Fates one because that was the first one.
Cool.
So 3 successes from Shardy on her own.
I haven't even rolled
the
armament
invitation yet.
Yeah, I think we got this.
Holy heck! All right, so
Good
he
lord,
was
so-
all over himself.
3, 5, 8, 10.
Yep. Make sure you
Of
drop
10 or
any,
4.
drop any dice that you've lost.
Yep.
Just check that for me. But yeah, he he's like, no, look, I'm from a very noble house, and we are renowned for our fortitude. And the only reason I didn't join the army is because I'm also very educated, and I need to be part here for politics. And just like vomits all over himself. He's like, oh, that's really, you're embarrassing me on front of my girlfriend. She's like, but it's, you're not my girlfriend, but it's, and like, yeah, I think he swings at you across the table, and I think there's probably it's like hands and fists, so it's only 1 damage coming at you, but
Yeah.
do you want to just like duck out of the way of that, or just take it on the chin, or
What does taking it mean?
you just lose a dice? A dice just becomes
And how much would I have to do to?
you would only need 1 success to not take it.
Okay, then I'll just roll 1 air anyways.
So it's an avoid. Yeah.
Seems like a fair thing if you're gonna take 1 no matter what. Well,
Yeah,
but you can lose 2 this way though. If you fail to get the air, then then the air die is lost and you take 1. So you are taking the.
You know
if
what?
Succeed, you take none.
Can I just bend 1 air, or do I have to roll?
Certainly can.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just bend 1 air.
It seems like mathematically the greatest chance of you.
So yeah, you lose.
I didn't get
you lose it, but
I still lost it.
Yeah.
so like you dodge it, but like I think, but like it's draining, or it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you dodge it like so beautifully because the fates are on your side.
Yeah, because the benefit here, if I remember, Ash, is that like otherwise you would choose what die was lost, right?
I've got to check who chooses which one is lost. I think I get to choose which one is lost. If you...
Yeah, so like the benefit here is that you get to pick what you like. You control what die is lost. Is the reason that you would do this mechanically.
Sure.
So I could be like, nah, knock some of your fire out or something like that.
Yeah, and you're like, nah, instead I just lose some air.
So what I should have said is like, there's damage coming at your such and such element. So, yeah. Yeah, he's now, so like, I think he's like, gets up, swings at you, you just kind of like duck out of the way. He falls forward, hits his head on the table and passes out. And Jasmine is horrified. She's just like, she's been getting more and more like upset and uncomfortable throughout the whole thing. And then she as soon as he like gets like vomit covered and aggressive, she's like,
Right.
she's not okay.
And she has now had wine spilled on her probably very nice dress.
Yep. She's not had a pleasant time in this establishment, I'll tell you that.
I think being the one that's supposed to, that's supposed to be serving here, Shadi helps her up, like, away from him, and because clearly I don't think she wants to, like, hang out, and I want to try and build an affinity with her, where I say, where I say we can't have you going home like this.
Yeah.
And I say please, don't let anyone else know. And I am going to bend in front of her. I'm going to bend water in front of her to take the wine stain out of her dress. And I think that my hope, I'm gonna cross my fingers, that it's valuable enough to do it, that she won't leave in a dread she won't leave in with this stain on her dress, that she won't be like,
and her reputation.
Yeah, and her reputation.
So here's the question I have for you. Are you building her trust or tending to her? Because those are different things, right? Because, like, if you're building her trust, she's less likely to say later, I saw this person bending.
Yep.
Right? But if you're tending to her, like, she's more likely to, like, water bending will be better if you're tending to her.
Yep. I'm definitely, well.
How about I do the bending, you do I do the tending, you do the building?
Okay.
Like, so I'll do the bending and be like, I'm sorry about that. Here, let me get the stain out. And then, but you are the one that's like, oh, this doesn't normally happen.
Yeah. Because, I feel like...
Placate her. You use soothing platitudes and I'll actually do the bending.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like us, like, tending, like, her opinion of us overall is, like, a fairly important thing for us to do.
Part of my consideration here is that she's probably going to be at the party, and now she's seen who I am. Yep. And if she sees me dressed up all nice amongst polite society, I kind of want her to think that I'm doing the same thing she is, which is, like, slumming it. Like, that when she sees me later, she's not like, hey, you're just a barmaid. She's like, oh, I get it. You were hiding out, which is why I want her to see me bending right now.
Yeah.
I want her to see me doing it because I'm like, wink, wink, it's okay.
If you're waterbending, here's a suggestion. If you're waterbending,
I think I'm waterbending to build, which isn't great, but it's the thing that makes sense.
I think that makes sense. I want to remind you that there are a class of women who are allowed waterbending.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make an implication around that, you might not be being as taboo as...
Remind me of that.
The mothers.
It's the mothers.
Right.
The awful, bad, no good mothers.
Sure.
What's the thing? I was sleepy the other night and I was trying to talk to Emily about it, and I was like, the evil midwives.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The eugenicists.
Yep.
So I am going to do that, and I'm going to make it ugly by referring to, and I really apologize about this, Risa, but I'm going to refer to one of the women that Risa has told me the name of, when you've talked about how awful they are, and I'll be like, oh yes, Mother so-and-so has always, Mother so-and-so always says that we should never, we should always look our best. And I'm going to basically name drop one of those people that is, like, tormented and been really awful to Risa. Because that's the name I know. Like, I wouldn't want to do that, but I think that's the name, because you're not going to be like, oh, well, there was this one nice one, or maybe you would, but I think in this case.
Fuck him.
Yeah. So, let's bend some water at building. That should work.
It'll be fine. You'll be great.
I don't think I have any armaments here.
So let's talk about what are the factors here that are working against you. So we have one factor by default. Her fear is one. And I think also the the lie is 1.
Sure.
So I think we're looking for 3.
I cannot get that, but yeah, that could happen. All right, so I'll roll Earth as well.
Can I help?
Yeah, you can help, right?
I was about to say, can I help?
Yeah.
So yeah, like if anyone's helping, please declare it when we're doing the dice declaration.
I have to help with the same action, correct?
No, you don't have to use the same action. You have to explain how you're helping towards the outcome, and you choose, and then we talk about what action you're taking.
Okay. Then I think I'm just trying to soothe and placate her.
Yep, sure.
So I think
you're tending to her.
Tending.
Yeah, like the thing that would be, yeah, you could tend her really. You'd be quite effective at tending her because, as shitty as this is, a strong, masculine, comforting presence would be like the thing she wants right now.
Yeah, it's like this idiot just like made a mess of himself.
Yeah. And
I'm the proper man. Let me help you here. Yeah.
Let me be normatively masculine in a way that is hero coded. Yeah.
Chat,
speaking of the.
I'm just going to chat. Can you recast your votes because I've just cleared it because it had a whole bunch from like previous games. So I just wanted to get it reset so that it wasn't unbalanced.
Recast your votes.
I am speaking of this drunken puddle of idiot on the floor. I'm going to I like come out from behind the bar and like pick him up like like gently because he is a citizen. Mm-hmm. And I say to her, deepest apologies. This sort of thing never happens here. We do not have patrons get so drunk and make such a scene. 1,000 apologies. Is there anything we can do? Can we get you some food to go? And I'm just kind of like making it very clear that like she is the wronged party here, and as the business owner, I'm like, this guy is a jackass, but I'm like, you are the person who is in the wrong, and like we like value your custom and we care about what you think, and not this shithead. So I'm trying to like tend her self-importance.
Let me think. So yeah, you're trying to.
I feel like it's building your reputation.
I actually think you're avoiding. I think if you're doing anything, it sounds like you're avoiding.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're avoiding
her anger.
Yeah.
Avoiding the consequences of everything we just did.
Yep.
You're like because you're avoiding the damage to the reputation and all of those sorts of things, right? Like.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
The things you're saying are deflective.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
If there was like a amount of time between this, then it could be building the reputation back.
Yeah, but it's not at the moment. At the moment, it's deflecting damage to the reputation. So yeah, you'd be avoiding from that fiction.
Yep.
Does the No.
I know what you're going for, and it doesn't.
I don't think the soup kitchen counts because she doesn't care about it.
Yeah.
She's not like, I'm a regular that cares about your soup kitchen. She's like, exactly. I'm really rich and I just got pulled here by this weird dude and I don't like this place at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I mean, not because it's bad, but because dude was weird.
Yeah.
Does Sergeant Rise work?
Yes. Sergeant Rise as an identity will work here because she would love it if Sergeant Rise were a good guy.
Yeah.
Yep. So the way I know that we have like we're all doing these like different interactions with her, and so I imagine that it starts kind of with Rise like comforting her, and then before she's going to go anywhere, Shadi says, "I can't let you leave like that," and kind of like gives her like this sly nudge, like we can't have you seen this way, and then does the very obvious like very clear moves her hands around, and she holds what she does she holds a glass of clear water and like a glass of wine, and like via like electrolysis sort of siphons the clean water in and the dirty wine out, right, from like one to the other. So by the end both cups are wine now. Here's
an interesting question. Has Shadi had interaction with the Mothers of Mercy 1-to-1? Because the Mothers of Mercy would have their own like bending forms, right? Like,
I mean, here's I think the crucial question: did Shardy did Shardy have children with her former husband?
We asked that last time, and we said that she had not had children with her. She had had children. She had a child before she was taken captive.
Yeah.
She has not had a child here.
Although she could have still she could have been a volunteer with the Mothers of Mercy.
I don't think it doesn't sound like a thing she would have done.
That doesn't sound like a thing after Shoddy, but
doesn't sound like okay.
No,
cool.
but I do imagine she probably at least has gone there for regular sort of
health stuff, right? And probably
right.
There might have been an element of pregnancy prevention, even. If that was
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Shoddy. I'm thinking Shoddy probably used abortifacients on occasions.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want to have children with Adonis.
Yeah. So she probably knows vaguely what the forms of the mothers tend to look like. Probably not specifically, but enough to be oh wait, I'm not going to use this thing because that's not this form, because that's not a thing that they would use.
Right.
I'm not going to use Carrick's form.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, all of Carrick's bending just looks weird as fuck.
Yeah, it does. It's the weird.
It's all completely foreign, cobbled together nonsense, and then weird bastardized familiar bits.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
so it sounds
if sorry.
No, go.
If people feel that the reference to Rysa's
awful
acquaintance is sufficiently sad, I'm going to flip a coin. As well.
So talk to me about that.
We did just point out that.
I think you can flip it if you're suggesting that you have an association with her, being through you're implying that you do work with the mothers. If you're implying that to her, then that's cool. I'll allow you to flip.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's absolutely why I wanted to name drop, because I want to imply that I'm trying to imply that I'm a person of importance, and I'm also here under the this is an outright lie.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, but the point is that you can flip the token, because then you're to her you've created you're building up the lie that you have to keep operational, right? So I'm allowing you to flip a token because you're making your own life more complicated.
Yeah.
Right? And kind of gross.
Yep. Yeah. I was going for gross, but complicated sounds right as well.
Complicated and gross. Flip a token, go for it.
All right.
I do wonder if I could, if bending would be appropriate for me to clean up the rest of the spilt wine, or at least get it out of her way, and the sick.
Yeah, I mean I feel like her mess related to Jasmine is being handled by Shoddy.
Okay.
Fiction.
So I won't bend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
So has everyone got their dice set? Do you want to talk about it?
I'm rolling 1 earth and bending 2 water.
Cool.
I am rolling 1 water and rolling my Sergeant Rise.
I am rolling 2 self.
Cool. So you need 3 between the lot of you.
Cool. I guess I might just bend 1, I think.
Yikes. Cool. It was all sort of
God.
bad.
Alright, so Shoddy... Wow.
I lost it all.
Wow, but we do have 1 success. So if you want... and
I did it!
And you need
2,
so if you want...
I got 2 successes.
Compromises.
Does the fates count if I don't get any successes?
The fates roll for this one was Shoddy's.
Shoddy.
Oh, okay.
I rolled 1.
Yeah, and the D12 for self came up 1, so they got nothing. Sorry.
But Sergeant Reyes did add a success.
Carrick's has got a success, so the roll has a success against it, which means that we can. So any of you can choose compromises for your action.
Right. I think we have 2 successes, because Carrick's has 1 and Ray's got 1 with
Ray's get 1?
With the armament.
The armament.
Yeah.
The armament. Yeah. So you just need one compromise if you want to get ahead of the point.
I like the idea of tending one part strains another.
Yeah.
And the idea that like we extricate ourselves from this situation, but like as a result, like her memory of the upsettingness of like her encounter with this guy is gonna be like that's gonna be a thing she's gonna keep with her, and it's gonna be really like awful and upsetting as a memory of like an out of control, like shitty, pushy dude who she was like trapped in a place with no like real guaranteed sense of support.
Yeah. Yep.
As like, despite her class, technically a non-citizen. Like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
is that sad? Is that sad enough? I can flip a momentum because that feels.
You can't flip a momentum for that because it's a complication.
That feels kind of shitty.
It's a compromise.
Right, but that's the
compromise is a fault. Is the compromise?
Right?
Yeah. Cool. So she's going to carry
I made it
PTSD
sad.
from this. Neat. Y'all have given this girl just a little bit of the old PTSD. And I think that makes it and like so do you escort her out? Do you try and escort her home, Rice? Like
I would certainly ask if she needs the escort.
She would. I think she's gonna like I think she's currently like basically on you, you know, that thing where she's like like almost body to body
on my arm.
Like she's like there's like this much space between your torsos, right? Like it's an improper like
lack of personal space.
Yeah, and like you can see that it's obviously like her shakenness is overcoming her sense of propriety. But she's like, all right,
if you were a really shitty, awful, like real citizen, this would probably be the point at which you'd be gross and take advantage. But thankfully, we are not the villains of this game.
Yeah. So yeah, she's like, okay, yeah, that would be very helpful. And like I think at that point, she like when you talk about going outside, she like steps back a little bit and straightens herself up and is like, she's like, my father's home is near the Pines. It's a bit of a walk from here, but I would really appreciate it. Is Gaius going to be okay? This is a rough part of town. Is there a hospital nearby or a healer?
I mean, Rise. I think Rise would
not a legal one.
I think Rise will say something along the lines of like, Gaius is a man. He can fend for himself.
Yeah.
But in a more like, oh, he's a strong lad. I'm sure they'll take care of him, and I'm sure they'll take care of him until he's back on his feet a bit more.
Anya, I love your man impression. It's so cute.
I'm a man.
Yeah. So
imagine,
she's like,
I did this for 16 years.
You're real good at it.
Insert that GIF of Patrick Stewart acting.
Yes. All right. So
sorry, that Jeff I mispronounced.
The Jeff.
The Jeff. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I think we see you escorting her, and like I think all we see of that is just you like leading her out the door, and then the door closes, and the shot is of like the shot has everyone in it, and like they exit stage left and through the door, and the door closes, and now there's just like Carrick's and Shardy like standing over the body of Gaius, who is like completely KO'd. Also, I want to note like Carrick. So you know that if he's unconscious for much longer, then it's indication of like serious injury. Like you don't get knocked out for like more than a few minutes without having serious head injury.
Yeah.
Not my problem.
I feel like as we're like exiting the stage, you just see Rice's like hand pop in and like motion for the armband.
Oh yeah, totally. And I whisk it off his sleeve and hand it to Rice.
Out the door, she's just like, hand it to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd like hand it to you. And then the door swings closed, and Carrick looks at Shardy and says, "So, We spill some more wine on him. We break his arm. And we run to carry him to the hospital and tell them that he was attacked outside the tavern. And just like completely just like cold and like yeah.
I think we should probably. Are we at
We're
break?
at break time. So
Let's leave it.
So I think we like. I like the idea that we like fade out and we just hear the like breaking of bone and a scream.
Well, I mean, like, Shoddy hasn't agreed to that plan yet.
No, true. All right.
Yeah, no, it's like Carrick's breaking the arm, and it's actually Shoddy's scream.
All right, we'll break and we'll come back and see what we'll see.
Carrick's is proposing a plan.
Yeah,
this is not precipitous action.
Cool. All right, we'll see what it actually looks like in a few minutes. We'll be back soon, chat.